Thank you, ma'am. Colonel, you're recognized for 5 minutes, sir.
Well, good morning, Chairman Luttrell, Ranking Member McGarvey, and committee members. Thank you for this opportunity to address you this morning, and it's quite an honor to represent all active duty and veteran military aircrew members on the topic of the ACES Act, HR 53. HR 530. I'm joined this morning by my wife, Julie, who is sitting behind me in the gallery and supports me each and every day. I retired from the United States Air Force in December of 2022 after another nearly 23 years of service to our nation. I was trained as a fighter pilot in the F-15C and the F-22, culminating in approximately 1,500 total flight hours while flying operational missions and training the next generation of fighter pilots. And I had a promising career, handpicked to stand up the sole F-22 flying unit, early promotion to lieutenant colonel, top marks as a squadron commander, and distinguished graduate from senior developmental education. In 2018, while serving at Langley Air Force Base, Virginia, I was looking forward to the next challenge, promotion to colonel, a flying 06 command tour, and endless future possibilities. I was also in the best shape of my life, training for my first half Ironman. Simply, I was on top of the world. And that world came crashing down on January 8th, 2019, when I received a call from my doctor saying I had cancer. Scans revealed I had a fist-sized tumor growing on my left kidney. Additional tests revealed that the cancer had already spread to both of my lungs. I was 41 years old, married with a 10 and 13-year-old sons at home, and I had stage 4 cancer. While I was selected for promotion to 06 a few weeks after my diagnosis, I was also permanently grounded and eventually medically disqualified from aviation service. My promising flying career was over. Scheduling and attending doctor appointments became a near full-time job for the next several months, and in the last 6 years, I've undergone 2 surgeries, multiple procedures, 3 rounds of radiation treatment, untold number of scans and blood draws. I participated in a clinical trial, and quite frankly, I've exhausted all known treatment options. In June of 2019, following my partial lung resection surgery, I woke with a half-inch tube protruding from my back attached to a vacuum that was designed to suck out additional fluid from my chest cavity. My friend and fellow fighter pilot, August Pfluger, now Congressman Pfluger, came to visit me in the hospital and slowly walked the halls with me while he carried that vacuum. It is something I will never forget. The last 6 years have been an emotional roller coaster for me and my family, and I still remain in the fight for my life today. I would say it's natural for people to question the need for the ACES Act when the PACT Act was just enacted in 2022. The PACT Act is a great piece of legislation that expands VA health care and benefits for veterans exposed to burn pits, Agent Orange, and other toxic substances. The act removes the burden from the veteran of having to prove service connection for certain medical conditions. And while the PACT Act will likely help millions of veterans and their families, it is also limited to certain time periods and specific locations. To be clear, the PACT Act does not cover aviators like me and thousands of others who have been proven to have significantly elevated cancer diagnoses and deaths simply from doing their daily flying duties, as documented in 3 studies from 2021 to 2024. In a way, I was lucky, though, because my cancer was diagnosed while I was on active duty and was therefore automatically service-connected. And as such, I do receive VA health care and benefits for my condition. But there are an untold number of veterans who are not so lucky, whose cancer is diagnosed after their military service, and therefore they do not receive those benefits. The purpose of the ACES Act is to right this wrong by identifying the hazards in the military aviation operating environment that more likely than not cause cancer. We must identify the root cause affecting otherwise healthy aircrew. The health and continued service of our military aircrew directly impacts national security and should be prioritized appropriately. The United States needs to address the health risks posed to military aircrew by their unique work environment, by dedicating the resources to fully investigate, understand, and eventually mitigate those risks. That is why the ACES Act is needed. Thank you again for this opportunity to address a subcommittee, and I look forward to your questions.